and welcome to lesson number 2. In this video, we're going to talk about embouchure and how to make our first sounds on the reed only. So I've had my reed soaking in my water cup, so make sure you do that for a couple minutes before you get started. Make sure that you don't have the water filled up all the way because you don't want to get the cork wet. So maybe about halfway full, so it's nice and soaked and ready to play. Now, let's talk about embouchure. The word embouchure is referring to the shape of our mouth as we put it on the reed to make our first sound. So our embouchure is going to look like this. Now, the tendency when someone tries to make their oboe embouchure on the reed is to be really tight and pinched. We actually want to be very open in the mouth. So go ahead and take 2 fingers and stick them in your mouth like this. You actually want about a 2-finger spread in your teeth when you're playing on your oboe reed. Another thing you can do is think of the syllable O. Go ahead and say O. O. So you want to be making an O shape in your mouth when you're playing on the reed. Now let's talk about where to place the reed on our mouth. So go ahead, hold the reed with only about 2 fingers. We don't want to be grabbing down on it. And place it right in the middle of your bottom lip. Now think of your bottom lip as the bed for your reed. So you want to lay it in bed nice and carefully. Now you want it down on your lip, so if I move it around, my lip is going to go with it like this. Okay? If you place the reed down and it just moves around your lip, it's not going to be settled enough for you to make a good sound. So again, go ahead, take your reed, place it on the bed. Make sure it's nice and firm. And then just close your lips around it, still thinking of that O syllable. Okay, and you want a nice, flat, firm chin here. Something else you can think of as far as placing your lips around the reed is that drawstring kitchen trash bag. So, if I put my reed on the bed of my lower lip, make sure it's secure, and then picture you're pulling a drawstring trash bag. So that's what your oboe embouchure should look like. Now, to make a sound, you're going to firmly place your lips around the reed, but don't bite it and don't be too tight. Remember, still think of O. And it's going to be a lot of back pressure, but you want to put those lips together and blow and make a nice vibrated sound like this. Okay? That's called a peep. Okay? So go ahead and with me, take your reed, place it. We're going to try to make a peep on the note C. Ready? Big breath. Okay, try it again. Okay, go ahead and try that on your own a couple times. All right, now let's try it together. Again, we're trying to peep on the note C. C sounds like this. Go ahead and hum that note. Okay, go ahead, place your reed. And now let's try to peep on that note C. Okay, very good. Now let's talk about something called tonguing. We use tonguing to articulate new notes in our music. Now when we tongue, we are not stopping the air. We are still continuously blowing our air, but we're going to place the tip of our tongue on the tip of our reed for a quick second to simply pause the airflow going into the reed. Okay, so simple tonguing should sound something like this. So it just is something like this. I'm blowing my air and I'm quickly putting my tongue right now on the back of my teeth, but when my reed's in my mouth, it's gonna go on the tip of my reed. So go ahead and try a couple notes on your own with your tongue. Very good. Now let's try this with our metronome. I have my metronome set at 60 beats per minute, and we're going to simply try to tongue some half notes on our reed with our metronome. So I'm turning on my metronome. Okay, place that reed on your lower bed. Make sure it's secure. Drawstring trash bag goes around the reed. Okay, nice big breaths, and we're gonna play some half notes. Let's see how long we can go. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. Very good. Now let's try some quarter notes. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. And that's how you get a good tongue on your reed. Now let's go over 3 main issues you might be having with the sound on your reed. If you have too much reed in your mouth, you might be getting a really high, tight pinch sound. So make sure your lips shouldn't be going all the way up to the string, okay? Your lips should only go to about here on the reed. Okay, that's what we want, we don't want. Okay, that's too high. The second problem you might have is something like this. Right? All you can hear is rushing air. There's no actual sound. If that's what's happening, then you don't have enough pressure between your lips and the reed to make it vibrate. So just get your lips a little bit firmer down on the reed. But again, remember, we still want that O shape and we don't want to bite on the reed. So that way you can go from this to this. The third problem you might be having is that it's just too quiet. If you're barely getting any sound out, then again, think of that nice O shape. So in this case, you're probably putting too much pressure or biting too much on the reed. So simply relax your mouth a bit and go more to that O shape. Congratulations on making your first sound on the reed. I'll see you in lesson number 3.